Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, the editor-in-chief of Total Retail, and I'm excited to be joined on this episode by Sarah Townsend, who is the Digital Experience Manager at Diane von Furstenberg. Sarah and I are going to be discussing DVF's recently launched resale program, DVF ReWrap. So thanks for joining me today, Sarah.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So as I noted, we're going to be talking all about the DVF ReWrap, this new resale program from DVF. So I'd like to get back to the beginning and talk a little bit about why the brand decided a resale program made sense for it.
Yeah, I think, first of all, it's something that we didn't decide quickly. It's something that we spent a lot of time kind of researching what was out there. Obviously, there are a lot of brands that are kind of exploring this space, and there's been a lot of, third-party, I guess, resale platforms for a long time. So it was something we were aware of, and we really started speaking to different partners and to other brands who were exploring this last summer. So it's something that we put a lot of thought into. And ultimately felt like it was a good fit for us. We are a 50-year-old company, but very, very much interested in keeping the experience for our customers fresh, being up to date in terms of how people shop. And the more people we talk to, we know that there is a lot of buying and selling of pre-loved DVF items out in the world. And we have heard from some of our younger people that we've spoken to that a lot of them, their first piece that they buy for DVF is often through one of these pre-loved platforms. We also, felt like it was a good fit for the brand because we have 50 years worth of designs out there in the world. So not only do we have pre-loved from, a couple of seasons ago, there's also true vintage DVF pieces out there that have a really passionate collector base. And we have a lot of very loyal customers who have been shopping the brand for years. So we felt like there were a lot of people, who have a closet full of DVF items. And we know that there is a market for that. We really wanted to find a way to make it part of our customer journey, that people can, shop new pieces, they can shop pre-loved pieces, they can clear out their closet and kind of, share that with other people. So when we were thinking about it, we were really kind of thinking about it from this idea of if we're going to do resale ourselves, we really wanted it to feel like an extension of the brand and really to feel like a community of collectors for these rare, hard to find pieces, pieces that people just, love, missed out on, saw in a movie, any of these kind of ways that people might want to specifically go searching for an older piece.
Yeah, and it sounds like it was very much in reaction to the consumer behavior that you already saw taking place. So, DVF customers, fans of the brand were actively searching for pre-loved items from DVF on third-party sites. So the idea being let's kind of gather in that community and bring them back to a DVF platform to kind of have this behavior taking place through your owned platform.
Yeah, and I think the hope is really that, like, by making it part of our site, our brand, that we can really provide, a great experience for buying and selling those pre-loved pieces. So, we have historical product information, we have, professional images of these pieces, that one of the advantages, for our site is that if it's a piece, from the last 10 to 15 years, a customer can list their item, and it will have, all the details. We have the MSRP for these things. We have images, so we can really kind of help from a seller side by providing a little bit more information and context for those pieces. And so that was one thing that felt like an area where like we are able to add some additional information, some additional value to the listing of a pre-loved piece. But yes, we do. Our CX team actually, I have heard them be on the phone with people who are looking for a piece from a couple of years ago. And, they'll call our team and say, do you know when this piece was from? Do you know where I might be able to find it? So even though we weren't selling pre-loved last year, we were still having customers reach out with questions about pieces that they had seen from previous seasons. So yes, we kind of knew that there was that interest there in matching people up with the pieces that they were looking for.
So tell me about the experience that somebody that is going to be coming to this ReWrapped platform. What will the experience be like for them as they going about shopping from pre-loved items from DVF?
So from the shopping side, it was really important that we make sure we have the best images we can of the pieces, the most information, obviously product titles. We have a lot of styles, that are heritage styles that we've been making for years. So we do have a lot of customers who know the products that they love by name. So as much as we could do to match up the styles that customers have with that information that perhaps not everyone knows, that was like something that felt really key for us. But then we also built out a lot of sort of filtering options, sorting options, so that people can kind of find what's available in their size. What's available. They can search by season, they can search by size, they can search by product category. I think that is the one piece of shopping pre-loved, is that each of these pieces is probably available in one size and one condition at a time. So for customers, being able to filter down to what meets their criteria is something that we had to think a lot more about on the pre-loved site than our main site, where all of the products are available in a full range of sizes.
And then you mentioned earlier finding the right partner for this project. So you have that in resale platform Archive. Tell us a little bit about the kind of vetting process, the process for finding the right resale partner, and why Archive was the right choice in the end.
Yeah, we spoke to a lot of potential partners. We asked a lot of questions. I think we were very, we're a small team at DVF, but with big ambitions. We knew that we wanted, if we were going to launch resale, we wanted it to be, we wanted to deliver the same sort of experience that our customers would expect, from the brand. So we spent a lot of time talking to different partners, asking a lot of questions. We went back and forth for clarification, not only on like, what is this going to look like, but how does our team work with your team to make this happen? What is that process after we launch? What's the workflow like between the two teams? And we spoke to a lot of great solution providers. There are a lot in this space, and they all have kind of their own, I think, their own take on the best way to do this. So I think for us, we felt like Archive was the right partner. We were really looking to make it very branded, to make sure that it had, kind of these bespoke touches that we just wanted to do. And Archive was extremely comprehensive in the information that they provided us about the platform, how it works for us from a business side, how it works from a customer experience side. And, they laid out very clearly kind of what the expectation for workflow would be on, their team and our team, and made sure that we all felt internally in DVF that we all felt comfortable with that commitment. But I think they were very open to kind of coming up with new ideas, and adding features that were sort of unique to us. So obviously we needed a solution that the functionality would work and that would all be sorted out in place. And I think there are a lot of partners who offer that, but we also wanted to have the flexibility to really make it our own. And Archive was really excited by kind of the ideas that we had about how we could make it unique to DVF. And I think that sort of excitement to partner with us and to make, something new that felt unique to us was really like, it's made them a great partner so far. We're in the early stages, but they've been really great to work with.
So how will customers find the ReWrap? Is it an extension of the, a page on the existing DVF e-commerce site, completely different URL? What, just kind of the basics there in terms of finding the platform.
Yeah, so it is a separate kind of micro site that we link to from the navigation on our main website. So the actual operation of the site is distinct, and then the checkout, there is no shared checkout. If a customer is shopping on the pre-loved site, they're shopping the pre-loved site, and if they're on our main site, they're on our main site. And this isn't necessarily how every brand does it, but we felt like it made sense for us to kind of keep it. We want it to feel like an extension of our brand's website, but we also want it to be very clear to people that they are shopping pre-loved pieces. There are a lot of things, like the size or the condition or kind of unique one of each item when you're shopping pre-loved. And I think it is a different experience. So we want it to feel as elevated as our main site. But we also want customers to understand that it is a different model also because it is a peer-to-peer site. It's not shipping from our warehouse. It's coming from another, DVF lover who already owns this piece.
And one of the things that you referred to, Sarah, is some of the unique features that are part of the that you got through the partnership with Archive. And one of those is a first of its kind search feature called Misconnections, which operates like a classifieds page, essentially, where users can put out requests for specific DVF pieces that they've been trying to find. So tell us a little bit about the inspiration for launching that Misconnections idea and how you foresee shoppers using that feature.
Yeah, it really came out of the fact that it's what we all wanted. I think everyone in our office has the one that got away. And I think, that's for our brand, but I think as well, a lot of us love vintage pieces. We enjoy finding like that special something. And so I think for Misconnections, we really wanted to have a place for like an in search of feature. And some sites, Poshmark, for example, people can create a post that they're in search of something. And then that's kind of mixed in with all of the listings. So we really wanted to have a space where people could say, this dress from 3 years ago, it sold out in my size. I've been looking for it ever since, and really connect them with other people who are likely to have that piece. So because we're a branded site, everyone who's visiting rewrap.dvf.com is there because either they're interested in buying DVF or they have DVF pieces and they're interested in selling. So it felt like a really good place to let people who are really passionate about the brand kind of post that. So there's also, you know, this peer-to-peer model for selling the items, but then also for us to have like a peer-to-peer network for sourcing pieces that you're looking for. And then I think the hope is we're trying to match make between people who are looking for an item and people who might have it. And the sort of missed connections, the classified element of it, really kind of just came as well from the idea of, you know, wanting to have a message board, a place to post. And then also, you know, kind of tied in nicely, DVF's iconic newspaper print is something I think a lot of our longtime fans of the brand will recognize as really like an iconic DVF print that has come up over the years multiple times and is always, you know, such a popular print with our customers. So I think, you know, we have a handful of those iconic heritage prints, and I think the nod to the DVF newspaper print, you know, maybe not everyone will connect it, but I think something that was a nice thing for those people who have been passionate DVF customers for, you know, decades will recognize.
And I would think, Sarah, that the category in which DVF operates lends itself well to pre-loved, this special kind of occasion, in many cases, in many cases, formal wear that a customer might not wear this, you know, anymore. They bought a particular gown or piece of apparel for a certain, you know, function and then never use it again. And then it kind of, you know, that sustainability piece too, in terms of being able to reuse it rather than it just sitting in somebody's closet. So talk about that and how the product category and the merchandise itself really is kind of tailor-made for that pre-loved model.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Going back to this idea of like customer behavior was kind of the start of this. You know, we had a really interesting focus group with some women in their 20s, which is a bit younger than our main core customer base. And one of the things that we heard from them was a hesitation to buy special pieces at our price point that are so memorable, because we are really a brand that's focused on print as well. So a lot of our pieces they're colorful, they're printed, they're really like standout pieces. And one of the things that we heard from them was, I have hesitation about buying something that I think everyone is going to notice and compliment me on. It's going to look great in photos, but then can I wear it again? You know, and our answer is, of course you can wear it again. You should always wear it again. You know, why wear something once? But I think that does lend itself well to the pre-loved model for someone who is buying a piece on the main site and maybe splurging a bit for an occasion. If they feel like they're not going to wear it again, rather than have it sit in their closet, you know, for years, and make them feel bad about that, you know, they can offer it on ReWrap and connect with someone else who's looking for, you know, the same kind of thing. And that's, you know, something that we want to encourage. We want people to wear pieces multiple times. We want people to buy pieces that they love, and feel great about wearing them. I think, you know, it is very much like part of our brand that we do return to certain motifs. We have core silhouettes that we offer season after season. And, you know, one of the things that Diane says a lot is that it's the woman before fashion. And I think that is something that, you know, our customers love as well. And I think it's something that lends itself well to resale, because it's not just about having the latest thing. It's really about having the piece that's right for you. And that doesn't have to be this season's. it might be that the piece that you really want is from 10 years ago, or it might be 2 years ago, or it might be something new on our site. But I do think that we are primarily a dress brand. And I do think that lends itself well for, people wearing for an occasion, loving it, and then wanting something new for the next occasion. But we really want to, we want to extend the lifespan of those clothes. And special occasion pieces as well are often not worn as much as your everyday jeans and t-shirt. So it's an opportunity for people to get a great, gently worn item, pre-loved, and kind of make that more sustainable shopping choice, especially for those customers that is a major priority for them in terms of where they shop.
And then my final question, Sarah, is, part of your team, or, is thinking about the experience. So I know that resale is just a brand new initiative from DVF, but as you think about improving the shopping experience for ReWrap customers going forward, where are you kind of focusing your attention? What's kind of the opportunities that you're targeting?
I think we have a lot of ideas, and I think we are in the very early stages. So we're also very focused on understanding how people are using this site right now. And I think we want to be flexible in terms of how we move forward, and really make sure that it's based on how people are using the site in reality, rather than how we assumed people would use the site. But I think it's something that we definitely want to have more offerings. We want to make sure that there is an awareness, so that we have customers who are offering their pieces on ReWrap instead of some of those better known third-party sites. And then also that we, for those customers who, this is a thing that we offer to them, for them to be able to resell their pieces through us. We also want to create a great shopping experience, maybe for those people who are new to the brand. And, a pre-loved DVF piece is that kind of entry point. So I think we're working a lot on understanding how people are using this site, and trying to understand how it is similar or different from our main site. But I think as much as we can, like, the more product information we can offer as a brand, the more insight that maybe we have. I think we would love at some point to be able to, as certain special pieces come through, to kind of offer a little bit more information about them. If it's something that someone on our team recognizes and knows, goes, oh, we only made 10 of that dress or something, those are pieces that only our brand can kind of add. And I think that's something that we want to explore, how we can provide more context about these pieces, about the different eras of DVF design. So that's kind of a goal that we're working on, the best way to share that information with the customers.
Well, I want to take the opportunity to thank Sarah Townsend, who is the digital experience manager at Diane von Furstenberg, for talking with us today about the launch of its new resale program, DVF ReWrap, and something that consumers that are fans of the brand and others can look forward to. So thanks for joining me, Sarah.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please check out our podcast channel page at mytotalretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Total Retail Talks.